Hello guys! Welcome to our channel. For today's video, we will discuss related matters about freelancers. I will try to clarify some questions we regularly receive to our clientele, such as qualification to be a registered freelancer, pros and cons of a freelance work over an employee, detailed list of BIR requirements, and the step-by-step process of actual submission to the Bureau of Internal Revenue. So I hope to share with you some tips, so please stay tuned until we finish the discussion. To start with, let's define first who are the so-called freelancers. Do you need to have that PRC license to be qualified for this category? Is selling of goods or online sellers be considered as a freelance work? Can I register as a freelance while being an employee? So since these questions affects tax, let's use BIR definition for this category. Based on existing BIR ruling, freelancer refers to the self-employed individual who receive personal income from their practice of profession, skills and expertise with or without a license from a ruling board. Typically, these jobs are short-term or per project basis. Best examples are the writers, models, influencers, talents, social media creator, and bloggers. And for those covered with the PRC are the lawyers, doctors, accountants, engineer, and all other professions. Bakit nga ba napapanahon ngayon yung mga freelancer? What are their benefits and why many employees are moving outside from the employment sector? Working as a freelancer and being an employee both have their ups and downs. Freelancers are self-employed and offer their services directly to their clients, creating their own schedules while working full or part-time. Employees usually work full-time at a single company and receive benefits and salaried pay. Picture your ideal work week. Do you want to work for one company? Are you at an office or working from home? How much flexibility do you need in your daily schedule? Deciding whether working freelance or a full-time employee depends on your personal work style. Freelancing can be a great opportunity for individuals who want to work on their own schedules and be their own boss. However, it's not that simple. Not sure which job choice is right for you? Learn more about the pros and cons of being a freelancer versus an employee. As we look at the pros and cons, remember the following factors which can help us assess our options. First is your preferred working hours. Second, place of work. Third, your desired rates or fees. Fourth, control over jobs and clients. Fifth, job or project tenure. Sixth, your benefits such as leaves, retirement pays, and insurance. Seventh is the professional development. And lastly, how you can save tax for these categories. The very first factor is the working hours. The first advantage of becoming a freelancer is that you can work whenever you want. You can get to choose your own work schedule. If you want to sleep in until noon, you can do that. If you want to take a weekend off so you can explore the city, by all means, you go for it. As a freelancer, you can actually work during your most productive hours, and those hours don't have to fall in during a regular business hours. On the other hand, perhaps one of the most uncomfortable things about being an employee is how it controls our entire schedule. There are fixed working hours that you have to abide by. Unless your employer has granted you a flexible hours, you will have a little control of your time. Even if you're working remotely, employers often have a typical working hours around 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 from Monday to Friday. The next factor to consider is the place of work. As a freelancer, you don't have to worry about being called back to the workplace. You can enjoy the perks of working remotely every day. As a result, you won't have to deal with the usual workplace frustrations like long commutes, clogged roads, expensive fares and clothing, and even cost of your meals. Another perk of freelancing at home is that you can set up your cozy office area of your own design. While being an employee, you are required to report to the company office. Other employers offers already a hybrid setup. You are still required in office days each week for meetings. or you can work remotely only in certain days. Another important factor is the fees or rates. The possibility of financial success as a freelancer is uncapped and your earning potential is boundless. The freedom to establish your own prices can pave the way of financial success, provided there is a market for your services. The amount you make as a freelancer depends on the demand of your skills. As a result, the more value you can offer, the more money you can earn. However, one of the financial setbacks of freelancers is that they don't enjoy the same level of financial security that employees do. Simply because their income is not guaranteed. You get paid for your work, not for your time. This uncertainty makes budgeting harder and can discourage aspiring freelancers from taking on the risk. One of the main reasons people stay as an employee is the financial security. Financial security of having a fixed salary and benefits. Negotiating a salary in an interview and then having to stick to that number for the rest of the year is certainly not a fun thing to do. While a stable income ensures security, it also creates a ceiling on top of you. This limits your growth since you have to wait an entire year for a possible raise. Speaking of that, asking for a pay raise is quite stressful for many, and it can be demotivating to constantly have to advertise your worth to the company. Fourth factor to consider is the control over jobs and clients. A major perk of freelancing is deciding what you want to work on. If you don't want to work on a project or a client, you can easily say no. You can also work on engagement of more than one client at a time. On the other side, full-time employees may have a less control over the project they work on. When you labor for a business or another individual, you cannot choose which client you serve. Instead, you're typically just handed the customer no matter how unpleasant or unprofessional they may be. Because of this, employees may lose interest in their jobs and become less committed to their work. The fifth factor is job or project tenure. Freelance works normally is a project-based arrangement. Freelancers own their businesses, and part of their time is submitting proposals and reaching out to new clients. They have a less predictability of their income from week to week as project ends. Or they have a dry periods between high-paying jobs. Unless they have a marketable skills and build reputation, they can create a steadier income stream. But it's often less secure than employees. On the other hand, full-time employees generally enjoy a greater job stability than freelancers. Companies invest in training and onboarding new employees, making them less likely to let go of full-time staff than short-term freelancers. This stability can provide peace of mind and more predictable income to employees. Another important factor to consider is the benefits. As a freelancer, you're responsible for your own benefits. While you can take much time as a freelancer, your time is not paid off. You're in charge of your own benefits like health insurance and retirement savings, which one of the factors why freelancers might charge more per hour than employees. Unlike full-time employees where you can take time off during the weekend to run errands and plan trips whenever you want as long as you can still meet your deadlines. On the other side, employers are obligated to provide a compensated vacation time for full-time employees. Employer must provide at least a minimum amount of leave time specified by the law. This ensures that workers can take needed breaks without fear of financial and professional repercussions. And this will provide a break from work, relieving tension and preventing burnout. Full-time employees greatly profit from the retirement plan because they are ensured a steady stream of money in retirement. When it comes to workers' well-being, companies must provide primarily social security benefits. Paid sick leaves and other welfare benefits are just few advantages of employers can provide. The other factor to be considered is the professional development. As a freelancer, you are responsible for your own growth. You must stay up to date with the industry trends and develop new skills and market your services effectively to stay competitive. This can be challenging and time-consuming process, and you can get any formal job training that you don't pay for yourself. In comparison, full-time jobs provide more opportunities for professional development than freelancing. Employers often invest in their employees by providing trainings, programs, or opportunities to learn new skills. These opportunities can help the employees to advance their careers and become more valuable to the company. And the last but special factor to consider is how you can save tax for these two categories. Freelancers are responsible for managing their own taxes, which can be more complicated and time-consuming. The perks of freelancing, however, are overshadowed by the tax struggles. Although tax policies are not fixed for all freelancers, there are areas you'll need to comply with or face a hefty penalties for non-compliance. Due to the administrative works for filing and managing tax filings, the BIR offers a much more flexible rates compared to employees. For the freelancer earning 3 million and below, they can enjoy the benefit of 8% cross-income tax rate versus the 0 to 35% rate of employees. While those earning more than 3 million, they can deduct the 40% tax deductions before their income be subjected with taxes. And as a summary, freelancer tax is much lower compared to employees. And finally, when you are employed, your employers typically take care of your tax filing, meaning you don't have to worry about filing taxes. However, tax rates of employees are much higher compared to freelancers. They don't have the benefits to reduce your taxable income as compared to the freelancers. And their tax rates are fixed at 0 to 35% depends on their salary bracket. So from the 8 factors, which do you think is more beneficial? Being a freelancer or being an employee? The answer to this question depends on individual and their personal circumstances. Freelancing can be more financially rewarding in the long term, but it is often more difficult to find consistent clients and maintain a recurring workload. It also requires more self-discipline and determination than a full-time employee. Freelancers are responsible for finding new clients, setting their own rates and schedules, tracking income and expenses, and other various tasks that don't directly yield more income. For those who need stability and security, a full-time job may be easier for the short term. Employees have access to benefits such as health insurance and retirement plans that provide financial protection should they become ill or unemployed. Freelancing and employment are two different beasts in many regards, and each one is typically more suited to different people. But does it need to be one, or it can be both? For me, you don't have to choose between freelancing or employment. You can actually do both. Many people take a blended approach combining traditional employment and freelance work. This allows you to enjoy the benefits of both types of work such as security and flexibility. It can make things a bit more complicated when it comes to doing your taxes though. Furthermore, freelancer may also choose to specialize in certain areas that complement their regular job to further increase their earning potential. Ultimately, it's up to each individual person to decide what works best for them based on their own needs and preferences. Once you decided to start your freelancing career, your next question will be, how can you secure credibility? How to register? And how to take advantage of the lower tax rates of BIR? Since this topic will require a long discussion, we will be uploading another video to address and provide a detailed guidelines on this. If you have some question, feel free to leave your comments below and please hit the subscribe so we can provide our free consultancy advices. Thank you!